So one of the byproducts of people who spend a lot of time in a forward, rounded spine position is lower back pain. We're going to show you an exercise now that's going to help with creating activation of the core muscles to protect the lower back region. So we like to begin laying on the floor. We're in a very gravity-assisted position. Our knees are bent and our feet are flat on the floor. We're in the same palm-up position that we were in when we were doing our rotator cuff exercises. From this position with my palms up, I can feel my shoulders move to the back of the socket and I can feel my shoulder blades make contact with the ground. It's important here to bring my ribs down and feel the lower back make contact with the mat. That is the activation of the core muscles. So if I tend to be in a flex position here or extended position in the spine, I can actually have my hands under my lower back. I want to take that space away and bring my ribs down. Once I've got the contraction and I've got the pelvis in a position where the lower back is neutral, I can then begin bringing one leg up at a time, lowering down with control, trying to maintain the tension in the core as I bring the legs up and lower the legs down. If I was looking for a little bit more emphasis into the upper spine area, I can bring my arms away and feel how my shoulders have to engage into the mat. Still remaining with the same pattern of bringing one leg up at a time and lowering down one at a time, maintaining consistent tension through the lower back arch. A more advanced progression might be to start with my feet at 90 degrees and try to maintain control through the spine as I lower one leg at a time, tapping the heel on alternating legs. We'd like to see people perform anywhere from 4 to 6 reps on each side with slow control, making sure to keep the core engaged throughout. A variation that's more appropriate for our beginners is to just feel like they can tuck the pelvis under and make contact with the floor and the lower back. Once we've got that contact, we'd ask them to hold about 3 to 5 seconds of a contraction and then slowly release with control. Squeeze the lower back into the ground, tuck the pelvis under, maintain control for 3 to 5 seconds, and then release with control. We'd like to see someone perform between 4 and 8 repetitions with a 3 to 5 second hold per rep. So when we're referring to the core muscles that we highlighted in the last exercise that we did, we're specifically referring to muscles that are about 3 or 4 layers deep in the torso, in the abdominal region, with the vertical muscles of what we call our six-pack at the surface layer. So you can see we've got a few layers of muscles that run more horizontally around from the spine down into the front area. We're also looking at some muscle relationships between the lower back area from the left shoulder coming down into the opposing right glute. So we've got a cross pattern of muscles through the thoracolumbar fascia that work from the opposing glute into the lower back, and this is part of the core as well. And we can't forget about the sacrum area here. We often see a lot of our people that spend time behind a desk and in a seated position struggling with tight hips and feeling a little snug in that area. And the tension in the hips is responsible for some of the muscular impact on the sacrum. When we see people who get their sacrum out from time to time, tight hips will make these muscles here snug that can pull on the sacrum in one direction over the other. So one of the best things about the exercise that we just showed you is it's very global by nature, meaning it's going to hit muscles in all of these layers that go down from the surface to the deepest layers at the spine, focusing mainly on that lower back area. That tends to be the area where most people are experiencing pain related to core deficiency. From a functional standpoint, we have demands in our life that require rotation. Any of our athletes who twist, whether that's baseball or softball or tennis. We also rotate as we reach back to grab seatbelts in the vehicle and reach for a purse in the back seat, things like that. So the rotator muscles and the core muscles that support the spine are always under stress whether we're at a desk trying to maintain good postural positioning, or we're rotating with the upper body in various scenarios in life. If you found any of these movements to be helpful, then be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. Or if you're interested in getting scheduled for an initial analysis session, click on the link below.